Hi guys, math is going to be getting a little bit trickier. We had worked on one-step problems. We're going to start working on two-step problems. So I wanted to share with you one of the beginning pages that would have been in your workbook, and it just talks about what we'll be doing. So when we look at this, if we look at this problem, there are multiple ways. I'm going to start, or I'll try to start right here. There are 17 flowers in a vase. 8 flowers are daisies, 3 roses. The rest are mums. How many are mums? So we're going to start by thinking, what are we asking? What's the question we're asking? We want to know how many are mums. So as we are working through these this week, you're going to probably want to have some scratch paper, board, something to write on. So we're going to talk about that. And we know there's 17 flowers. So we're going to look at it down here. You can see they made 17 dots here. And then it says we know there are 8 that are daisies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are my daisies. And 3 are roses. So here's the first part. Then I'm going to come down here in the second part because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 left, which is my next part. So I had 9 left after I took away my 8 daisies. Then I take away my 3 roses. So let me scroll down here a little bit. This isn't ideal, but we have to make do the best. Oops, sorry, I went too far. Have to make do the best we can. So the answer would be how many are left here after we take away those 3 roses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the mums, there are 6 mums. You could also solve the problem by adding the number of daisies and roses first. So our number of daisies and roses would be 11. And then we subtract the 17, take away 11 equals 6. Either way is correct, but I want you to show me a picture of however you solve it the best you can. You may have to make X's because we're doing this online. Do the best you can. If it gets to be too tricky to write it into your worksheet, then you're just going to draw it on paper. And I'm going to trust that you figured it out the correct way. But I'd like to see your work if at all possible. This talks about that too. Then we go into session 1, which is your assignment you're going to have today. Oops, I'm going to go up just a teeny bit. I hope I don't go too far. So I'm up here reading. You have solved one-step board problems in equations. Use what you know to solve the problem below. So first, we're going to read the problem. We can't circle it, but you can write these numbers down on your paper as you're working. Eve has 3 striped banners and 3 dotted banners. Then she makes 7 white banners. How many banners does Eve have now? Well, right away, that tells me you're going to think, are you adding or subtracting? So if I want to find out all together, she has 3 striped, 3 dotted, and she's going to make 7 white banners. I'm adding here, aren't I? So I want you to try to figure that out. Again, you can use counters over here. You don't have your toolbox with you, but you could use cereal. You could make circles. You could do whatever you needed on your scratch paper, or even when you're doing your copy. That's what this space is for. If it was me, and I'm not going to do it on here because I don't think I can. I don't think it's enabled for me. You could make X's on there. You could make A's. You can make whatever you want if that helps you as a visual. So now, after you finish solving this, and again, you can stop me for a minute and do your work, then you're going to go and look at connect it. How many banners does Eve have now? That's where you're going to write your answer there because you have a copy you can actually type on. Then number 2, you need 2 steps to solve some problems. Here's another example. Juan has 3 pink markers and 7 green markers. He loses 2 markers. How many markers does he have now? So why would you start this problem with 3 plus 7 equals 10? Why would we do that? So first thing I thought of is Juan has 3 pink markers and 7 green markers. Okay, so he has 10 markers. I know that because I know my 10 facts. I knew that. And then he loses 2 markers. How many does he have left? So I know my 10 with my pink and green markers. I'm taking away those 2 markers. What is left? I'm not going to tell you the answer. You get to figure that out. How many markers does he have now? You're going to write the total there. Why is this a two-step problem? You don't have to answer that. I'm just going to talk about it because first you had to add and then you had to subtract. You had to do both. That makes it a more difficult problem, but I know you'll do great. So look at the two equations in problem 2A and 2B. Why is 10 in both equations? So we have a 10 here we added. We brought that same number. This is the next step. We took our total and we subtracted here. So that's why 10 is in both with adding and subtracting. And then this will be your work you'll do and continuing work this week. So you're going to fill this out, two-step problems. Think about the work we did, and then you're going to have one you solved. You guys will do amazing, I have no doubt. If you have any questions, please message me, call me, text me, whichever. See you later. Sorry you're still stuck with me. It won't let me end this silly thing. So I'll just smile.